Hey Jimmy, how you doing today? Can I get one of those work-life pies? Thanks. Hi, this is John Paulus. I'm in the Life's Potluck Bakery ordering up a work-life pie. And that's because today's card on Life's Potluck Buffet is card number 13. Thanks for tuning in. So card 13 is think of your work life as a pie. And it has one of those Easter eggs. If you look at the yellow lemon designs in the top left corner or in the bottom right corner, you'll see that there's pie-shaped pieces. The design challenge here is to make a circle look like a pie with a slice cut out and not Pac-Man. I think I succeeded in that. It's the angle of the mouth, you know. Pac-Man has a very acute angle. So I made a kind of obtuse angle and a very hungry Pac-Man. Think of each aspect of your life as a piece of pie of a different flavor. Your family work, your paid work, your hobbies, your volunteer work, your self-care work, etc. Say what the largest slice of your pie is right now and what you want it to be in 6 months. This is part 1 of 2 episodes about card 13. In the second episode tomorrow, I'm going to go through the worksheet for card 13 and show you a little bit about that and do my own work-life pie for tomorrow. But for now, I want to talk about the background of this. I've thought of this idea in many ways, but I most frequently think of it as a pie. I also occasionally think of it in those game pieces. You know, they're little circles and they're wedges you put in when you get a certain category right, and it's like a little pie-shaped wedge, and they're different colors. That's another way to think about it in a game sense. But the reason I like this pie is you can cut out slices of any size in a pie, whereas those little game pieces that you put different colored pie pieces in, every slice is the same size. And the important part about this is that it's a very dynamic pie. I don't think that's ever been said before, but there you have it. And by dynamic pie, I mean that each slice is a different flavor, and each different flavor slice has a different size. Because when we think of our work life this way, we can figure out something about our so-called work-life balance. And it's a better way to think about your work life than work-life balance, I think, because work-life balance makes it sound like there's a scale and there's work on one side and there's life on the other side. And you're just trying to come up with some sort of balance so the scale is level and their value is equal. The way Life's Potluck Buffet thinks of work is that everything you do in life is work, because everything you give effort and energy to is work. And that's card number 1. And we'll get to that at some point. Anything you do is work. And that's why Life's Potluck Buffet is about everything you do in life. So the work-life pie concept is a way of creating a space and division between each distinct activity as they are imagined in Life's Potluck Buffet, without saying they're part of a different whole. So you're the whole, and all of these activities are part of your work and life. And so this shows that they're both different flavors, they're different percentages of your waking work. And remember that when you're asleep, it's the back of your mind that is doing the work. That is why we say things like, when we're making a decision, I'll sleep on it, because we are allowing for the fact that we need some help from the back of our mind. That's our way of getting the front of our mind, which is maybe how we think of our kind of conscious, really conscious thoughts about the world and about what we're going to do. We have to put those on hold sometimes in order to make a decision, because we honor the work that our unconscious mind does. It has a full-time job too. This pie is about your waking life. Everything you do, as we'll talk about with card number 1, everything you do from when you wake up until you go to bed. All of those actions are work. Each one of them has a different flavor, and each one of them has a different percentage. And each one of the flavors corresponds to a different part of your life. So this is honoring that kind of idea of work-life balance and then accurately depicting it as parts of your life that have different purposes. I talk about it here on the cards: your paid work life, your family work, your hobbies, your volunteer work, your self-care work. All of those things have different purposes. And when we kind of muddle them together a little bit, For this exercise, we lose a little bit of focus on what we need to do next. As much as it would be great if there can be a sharp division between all of these things, maybe we would like that, and sometimes we can have that. But since it's you doing all these things, they tend to, the filling of the different pieces tend to kind of get combined sometimes. But there's gradients here. We're talking about the kind of main part and not the edges. Those edges are very interesting to talk about, and we do in other cards, like the edge between your hobbies and your paid work, or your volunteer work and your family work. And notice I talk about it as family work and volunteer work. I don't talk about it as family life and your self-care work. I don't talk about that as being your life as opposed to your paid work. And I think that also honors the things that we do that are for ourselves. By making life something different from work, it takes away from both. It makes work seem like this is some drudgery that you have to do that you could care less about. You don't want to do it. It's just what you need to do to survive. And then we talk about life as living and what really is going on with our life and what we care about. And so we automatically cut off all of that care from our work, especially our paid work. And then that causes sort of disturbances. So by thinking of these things all as one activity, and then different flavors of that activity for different purposes, because those different flavors, the pineapple and the cherry and the pumpkin and the apple, I just almost went into that Pineapple Pen song. Do you remember that? So once you divide the whole of your work into these various pieces, you will see that there are pieces that are perhaps larger than you want them to be. There are ones that are smaller than you want them to be. And there are ones that are just right. So tomorrow I'm going to do this exercise on the screen with the worksheet, filling in various pieces of the pie in the way I think I'm experiencing them right now, and what I think is going to be larger in 6 months and smaller in 6 months. Thinking about 6 months ahead of time, you're really talking about your present. I just like to put it in the future because that kind of makes the situation a little bit easier for us. It gets us a little bit more comfortable thinking about it because, remember that card, treat today as tomorrow? That's hard. But saying, 6 months from now, where do I want this to be? That tends to be a little easier. It takes the pressure off. And the goal of this card is to take that pressure off the situation of your work-life planning, to say, okay, here's how it needs to be adjusted so that I am in the right space, that I'm flourishing, that all the pieces are the size that I want them to be and that I hope for them to be for my life right now, going forward, how I want the pie to look. So give this a thought, and tomorrow I'm going to return with my work-life pie. And I'm looking forward to going over it with you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. If you like this episode, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. And please go to lifespotluck.com to learn more about Life's Potluck Buffet. And I'll see you next time. Okay, thanks, Jimmy. I really appreciate it. You have a good day, all right? Take care.